outside the country, whether it's markets, whether it's Saudi Arabia,
And today
Mexico.
our markets don't seem to care too much, right,
really.
about all of this.
Shaking it off, but they definitely did last week and part of this week as well. But anyway, we're going to talk coming up about handouts of all things. The Democratic Senator Kamala Harris has she almost fell off her chair, the poor thing on that.
I did. We all need a win-win, and we can. Lottery fever.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, hitting the U.S. But before you enter your office pool, would you even go into an office pool with me? Well, the Saudi king is stepping in as the crisis surrounding the... Thanks, Emily.
It's obviously been a busy week, and we've been talking about all kinds of things. Republicans pushing hard to try to keep control of Congress as we get...
around for now, that migrant caravan...
So thanks for coming in.
She couldn't even make it
Poor
through
thing.
a week.
She couldn't survive. So thanks for coming in early and late. You're at 5 in the morning and now at 4 o'clock in the evening.
And in 9 seconds, 5 p.m., and it's quitting time.
It's 5 o'clock
Any good
somewhere.
weekend plans after we get that lotto ticket?
I'll tell you afterwards. Bulls and Bears starts right now.
Trish Regan, host of Trish Regan Primetime.
I think that this is the right thing to do, and there's a lot of people in Congress that are going to fight me on it. But nonetheless, this is the policy that will help our economy going forward. It's not fair that they're charging tariffs, effectively a tax on so many of our goods that we send there, but we don't do the same. So why not just get rid of all tariffs altogether?
We can put up. You can see it's clearly a down move, a big down move.
Yeah, and look, and
hey, David, if I could.
Go ahead, Adam.
Gary, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think it would be.
I mean, there's definitely impact to the country over there. I mean, you could definitely say
traction. I think we are losing traction. Our interest rates are higher, are a great discounter of the future. I think it's seeing some of that going forward. And I would not be surprised to see our GDP predictions from all.
Right, interest rate goes up in terms of our payments. But the bigger thing is all of a sudden now maybe it takes a bite out of consumer spending. And by that, you need to have a solid, strong economy. If we don't do anything, we run the risk of turning to the likes of China.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Trish,
quickly, go ahead.
I said oui, that's all.
Yeah, okay. Final word, Adam, quickly.
I agree with...
Harass people, to destroy people's lives, to try and take people down because they weren't good enough to win this thing on their own, because they had a bad candidate who wasn't willing to go to Michigan and wasn't willing to go to Pennsylvania.
They care about accountability, but they are more focused on the day-to-day kitchen table issues than this.
Americans who are targeted by the IRS actually do.
To other people. Everybody forgets about the IRS scandal, right? Where they're going after every single conservative.
They can do it to you too. You don't have to be high profile.
I mean, this happens all the time. How about Hillary getting the debate questions ahead of time? I mean,
7.1 million job openings in this country, and that's 900,000 more than people who are out there looking for work. So they do care about that, too. They were wild about Bernie just a couple of years
to their country either, which is before they just let them go through and enter the United States. Now President
is a higher plateau, but it's not the fastest on record. We were growing I mean, we've grown faster in times during the 90s. Yeah. No, but I just wanted to stop you there because it is during President Obama's term, we never grew at 3% in any one calendar year.
That's right.
So I'll say that.
That's right. And by the way, the New York Times actually.
Eric, let me start with you. It is so logical that the UN would go down there and set up a place to process people.
Right. Obama gave $150 billion to Iran, a country that absolutely hates our guts, and look what we get for it, right?
Do you feel like it translates to local candidates because Democrats say, oh, the president is so unpopular, his numbers are so low?
I mean, they've thrown that at us since 2016. My mom wasn't born in the United States. My father's current wife wasn't born in the U.S. But the difference is they came into this country legally. They got on the list. They did everything right. They learned the language. They're halfway across the world. Look at where Mexico is positioned. I mean, Mexico has such an incredible